Okay. Shalom, shalom. I'm back. Let us pray. Let us pray. Abba Yehovah, Toda Rabbah, for this time of coming back again and beginning not really a new teaching, but continuing on what you have been placing upon my mind, upon my heart, to teach to your daughters, that we may know the ancient path to kingdom marriages, what you desire for your people, that we may reflect your glory, your kabod, in a world that's full of darkness, in a world that's walking opposite of your ways. But let us be that shining light, that light in the world, the light of the world that is founded in Yahushua, that we may be a living testimony of righteousness, of holiness, of peace, of joy, of every good thing. Let us be that before your people and for those who do not yet know you, who will be drawn into your kingdom of light and love. B'Shem Yahushua HaMashiach Nazari. Amen. Okay, so I mentioned in a quick video that I'm going to address something that we don't really talk about. We let the world, we let Hasatan teach Yah's people the wrong way of maintaining marriages. And we wonder why things turn out a certain way, or we're going through struggles in our marriages. That includes for both, not just the female, the wife, but also the male, the husband. Because everything around us, we are bombarded, literally bombarded with lies. And the truth that we need is in Yah's word. And really, as I've been emphasizing, we can really get a grasp of that truth with more depth, with more clarity, when we study from the original language of the scriptures, when we study from Ibri, okay, what people would say Hebrew, some people say Ibri, some say Yehudith, okay. When we study from the scriptures in the original language, we can get a better grasp of what is being said, and especially when we have the Ruach HaKodesh coming in to help us, to give us clarity, to give us understanding, to give us knowledge, to give us wisdom of things that we might, even somebody who might be versed in Ibri might not catch it, because it is something that the Ruach HaKodesh has to breathe upon it to give us that enlightenment, that understanding that we need. And so I was going to do this video earlier, but I didn't want to rush. I could have done this probably about 2 weeks ago, but I just did not want to rush it. I just didn't. I wanted to really take my time. Now, there's a video I did. It's just like a recent video. It's called For the Sisters. It was pertaining to, let me see. Hold on, let me click on it. Okay. Okay, it's called For the Sisters, an Ibri or Hebraic practice in kingdom marriages. And in that particular video, okay, if you look below, there was a man made a comment. I think his name is Keith Walker or something like that. G Keith 64. Okay, his comment was the Sevenfold Doctrine PDF community page, a fishing story about a man and wife. And so I read that PDF page. I think it was like page 69, page 70. And I read it, and I found it very fascinating that he was talking about what Yah taught him, that the way a husband should be intimate with his wife in the marital bed, that there's a certain way that Yah ordained a husband and wife to become one flesh. And that's why I mentioned in my video I did earlier today, I said, everything that you have watched on TV about love, about you know, sex, about anything of those things. Just erase all that, because that is not Yah's way. All the things that people have been taught since their youth, or seen other people or heard other people do, that is not Yah's way. That is Hasatan's way. Yah did not create intimacy in the marital bed to be the way of a whore, to be the way of a fornicator, to be the way of a molester, or to be the way of a rapist. No. That's not the way. And literally, when I read his testimony, and I went back and looked at Proverbs, I think it was chapter 5, and Song of Solomon chapter 7, and you look and you meditated that on the Ibri, you realize, like, everything that they have taught man to interact with a woman, a husband to interact with his wife, is completely wrong. All the movies and TV shows and whatever, things that people should not be involved in, is completely wrong. Okay? All right? I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. I did a video about Proverbs chapter 5 verse 15, and that's what that video was about. When I read, drink water out of your own cistern, running water out of your own well. And like I said, I'm going to put a link to that video below. But if you really think about it, let's just look at the analogy of drawing water out of a well. If you take a bucket of water, all right, a bucket, well, let's say it has no water in it. Let's say you take a bucket. The bucket's empty. Do you throw the bucket into the well and pull it out really fast, and throw it into the well and pull it out really fast? Do you do that? Low. You wouldn't be able to get any water out, right? I mean, how would you get any water out if you're, throwing the bucket into the well thinking you're going to get some water? You might get a little bit of water, or you might not get any at all, okay? Like, you don't just throw a bucket into a well and think really fast and pull it out really fast and think you're going to get some water. I mean, you're not. And that same concept actually applies in the marital bed. Going fast is not going to draw any water out of that well. It just ain't. It will never. There's no such thing in doing things Yah's way, according to the way he's established a kingdom marriage. There's no such thing as a 5-minute quickie. It doesn't exist. Lo, Hashemayim forbid. Doesn't exist. Okay? Let's look at Song of Solomon chapter 7. Okay? I read for you Proverbs chapter 5 verse 15. Just to give you an example, to just look at the illustration. Mentally think of the illustration of drawing water out of a well with the bucket. Okay? So, sisters, your husband should not be throwing the bucket in and pulling out, throwing it in, pulling out, throwing it, pulling. You ain't going to get any water that way. That is not how you draw water from a well. It has to be drawing, you take the bucket in, and then you gently pull it out. And you put it in and pull it out. Okay? That's how you would take a bucket to get water out of the well. Okay, the set concept applies even in the marital bed. Here's another example of the same concept in Song of Solomon chapter 7, verse 7 and verse 8. And it says, "This your stature is like unto a palm tree, and your breast to clusters. I said, I will go up," or some verses will say, "I will climb up. I will go up the palm tree, and I will take hold of the bogs thereof." Okay, now also your breast shall be as clusters of the vine, and the smell of your nose like apples. Now, going up a palm tree, go look at some videos of how men go up a palm tree. Okay, to get maybe to collect dates or to collect coconuts. okay, that's in these palm trees, because a coconut tree is a form of a palm tree. Look at how they go up that tree. They don't go up that tree fast. Look at the action of their hips. It is not a fast motion at all, okay? It's very methodical, okay? Just go look at some videos about a palm tree, how men climb up a palm tree. That is how, in the marital bed, your husband should be going up the palm tree, which is you, okay? It is not anything quick or fast. It is not bang, bang, bang. Okay? Going up the palm tree. Going up the palm tree. Going up the palm tree. So just look at videos about, people going up palm trees and meditate on that. Because that's how it should be in the marital bed. Methodical and gentle. Okay? Methodical, gentle. Climb up the palm tree. Draw water out of your own well. Okay? So it's nothing like anything that the enemy, Hasatan, has taught men to be towards their wives. Nothing of the sort. The scriptures is very clear about the action that would otherwise take place in the marital bed. Okay? And I'm going to try to pull up that PDF of this guy's testimony, which, is a really good, it's a really good summary of what I just mentioned. But those two verses, or two chapters, Proverbs chapter 5, starting at verse 15, and Song of Solomon chapter 7, starting at verse 7 and to 8, shows how a husband should be intimate with his wife in the marital bed. Okay, there's a proper position, there's a proper place, always missionary position, things like that. People might say, oh, well, that might be too TMI. Let me tell you, Hasatan got a lot more evil stuff he's flashing out there. And Yah wants his people, he wants his sons and daughters, husbands and wives, to have true kingdom marriages his way. This is about restoration. This is not about, TMI, whatever. Because the enemy the enemy has been throwing TMI at children and at adults for decades, if plus. Okay? So, if anyone's concerned about TMI, that's just too much information. Hasatan has been teaching people, has been teaching you, me, and other people his ways, his lies, the wickedness for many, many years from our youth. It is time that we learn how to do things Yah's way. And that includes what happens in marriages. That includes what happens in those places, in the secret place. Okay? In your own kingdom marriage, in your own Garden of Eden. This is the thing. Your marriage. One revelation Yah gave me from somebody's marriage, someone's testimony of their marriage from last year. They had got newly married. And I couldn't receive it at first because I was just like, I don't understand what she means by the statement, heaven on earth. Literally, she was right when Yah helped me meditate on this matter of kingdom marriages. He helped me to understand that indeed, our marriages, kingdom marriages, are literally supposed to be like heaven on earth. That is what kingdom marriages is about. It's about bringing Hashemayim to Aharetz. Hashemayim to Aharetz. Heaven to the earth. Okay? Being made manifested on the earth. That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. And it has not been. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead. Okay. So here is what it was page 67 on his document. Okay? I'm just going to read part of his testimony here. Okay? And then it's called The Riddle of Making a Woman Come. Here. Okay? Okay, so he says here that the male private area is akin to a fish hook. Okay, I'm going to be paraphrasing some things here, okay? Just for sanity purposes. That a circumcised man is private area is akin to a fish hook. Okay, so when you go fishing, do you jam the hook down the fish's throat? Of course not. Lo. Instead, you give it a little tug. Come here. You give a little more. Then again, tug. Come here. Well, it's exactly this very action that one needs to use when with one's wife in the bed. Okay? In other words, it's not bang, bang, bang that gets a woman where she needs to go. To get her to her desired destination, it requires stick shifting and no lip service. Okay? So, tugging outward is how it's activated. Think, come here, like a fish. Do the same motion with him down there. Comprehend, understand. Okay? So, that notion, and that was, I mean, like I said, I paraphrased it. But that notion is just to, he pretty much mentions this because he talked about, it's a testimony he put on here about why certain things was happening in his marriage. And Yah answered him. He cried out to Yahuwah. He answered him and said, look, you're doing things all wrong. Okay? And he gave him this knowledge. And Yah made this knowledge known to him. Okay? So this information didn't come from him asking a buddy or anything like that. He asked the Heavenly Father, and this is the answer that Yah gave him. So it's the same thing. And these things need to be restored in our kingdom marriages. Okay? In the marital bed especially. And like I said, this same analogy that I just read to you in paraphrase form, okay, from his document, you can also see it in Proverbs chapter 5 when you meditate on it and think about the action of drawing well from a water drawing water out of a well with a bucket. The same notion that you would see about climbing up a palm tree. So these things are describing in the scriptures, in the Hebrew, are describing the action that a husband should be using towards his wife for there to be really heaven on earth, to really manifest the Garden of Eden in these, many kingdom marriages. And that is what Yah wants to restore. So this was a very important topic for me to really talk about. And I'll just, I guess I'll just conclude with what I wrote. And I wrote this on October 29th. And I said, a husband is supposed to love his wife with gentleness in the marriage bed, as one climbs up a palm tree. Song of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 9. And as one who draws water out of a well, slow and gentle. As one going fishing on a fishing rod with a hook, gentle tugs and pulls. Love should be deep and wide and gentle. True love is gentle. Love in the marriage bed should always be gentle. Not bang, bang, bang. That's Hasatan's way. Don't copy the kingdom of darkness as you see on TV and the internet. They have it completely wrong. Turn back to Yahuwah's ways and repent. All right. And with that I say, Shalom, Shalom, and Shalom.